Welcome to myprojectbazaar.com. Our product title is the resource allocation in cloud computing using the uncertainty principle of game theory. This is our abstract. So the virtualization of resources on the cloud offers a scalable means of consuming services beyond the capabilities of small systems. Economical management of cloud resources needs allocation strategies with the minimum wastage while configuring services ahead of actual requests. We propose a resource allocation mechanism for machines on the cloud based on the principles of collision mechanism and the uncertainty principle of game theory. We compare the results of applying this mechanism with existing resource allocation methods that have been deployed on the cloud. We also show that this method of resource allocation by collision formation of the machines on the cloud leads not only to better resource utilization but also higher request satisfaction. Okay, this is the flow diagram for the resource allocation in cloud computing using the uncertainty principle of game theory. So first of all, every user has registered in on the cloud. Here every user have assigned some username and password for login to the cloud. So the username and password both are correct, then only go for next page. Then users with go for a resource home for what are the resources and processing to be allocated for the multi users is to be generated. Again, the key generation is automatically processed. The key code based cryptographic mechanism is processed. Here the cryptographic using data is securely storing on the cloud computing to be certain users based on file size. Again, scheduler is allocating space or storage space for storing users data on the cloud computing. Here the cloud storage has separated with multi clusters, or every storage spaces is to be separating for the virtual machines. So the virtual machines are VM1, VM2, VM3 are to be separated, and finally these are the data to be stored into the cloud. So the again the user is retrieve the data using the cryptographic mechanisms as a decryption key. The decryption key using the user has download the data based on file size. Suppose we are using the VM1, VM2, VM3. The data will be separated into the cloud. The user has easily retrieved the data from the cloud.
For the resource allocation in cloud computing using the uncertainty principle of game theory. This is our home page. Okay. Next I go to the login page, and this is the login. Always said with every user has assigned some username and password. So the username and password both are correct, then only go for next page. This is the login for existing users and the register for new or upcoming users. So the login success. Let's go for next page. The next means the username is John. The username is John. So this is some Gmail. Okay, the scheduler name. This is our scheduler. So the scheduler name Sutra. So the file user using and choosing particular file. Again, this is our file. The file size is 5 KB. Okay, so when I click to the details are stored into the database. So suppose stored in database. So next, this is the details for the asking key permissions. So the user is John. The public is generated. The secret key is automatically generated. The scheduler name is Chitra. So this is our upcoming updated key. When I click to the this page, the updated keys are automatically generated. So key store results, the data are stored into the cloud or database is successfully. So next, here the certain keys using, we will encrypt our data for the security purpose. So the key is the base for security. The data will be encrypted. So file chooser using, I'm choosing particular file. This is our encrypted file. So when I click to the encrypt, the data will be encrypted and after to be stored into the cloud. So next, so here this is the page for the username is John. For example, the scheduler name Chitra. The key is automatically generated. File chooser using, I'm choosing particular file. This is our file f1.h. This is our file name. So the file size is 6 KB. So the file mode is encrypt or decrypt. The file mode is encrypt. So when I click to the upload, the details are stored into the cloud. Okay, this is the next page. This is the page for scheduler using allocated jobs. So the scheduler is allocating the process for every user. So the users are to be stored in our data on the scheduler's assigning place. Okay. So when I click to the scheduler details are stored. For example, the scheduler name is Mangai, the username is username is Mangesh. So when I click to the key is automatically generated. Again, file chooser using, I'm choosing particular file. The city.txt is our file name. The file mode will be decrypt. So which cloud I will store. So here I'm using 3 machines as the virtual machine 1, 2 and 3. This is the separating clusters for data. Here I'm using 3 clusters as virtual machine 1, 2, 3 to be separating for the cloud data. So virtual machine 2, the process is completed. File size is 5 KB. Okay, so when I click to the virtual machine 2, the details are stored into the cloud successfully. So when I click to the size are to be accessed. So next, so here I'm using the which users are to be upload the files onto the cloud. Again the file is decryption. So the user is decrypt the file. Again the user is choosing the particular file. When the user is decrypt, the file will be decrypted successfully. This is the allocation for storage data into machine 1. This is the machine 2. This is the machine 2. So this is the page for the cloud storage data. This is the cloud storage data based on the file size. So here I am using 3 selected text as 3 virtual machines data will be displayed. Okay, thanks for listening.